Lucas. I hope this video helps you to understand the combinations of functions. So I guess the mistake is coming from you're not thinking originally what is the domain of each and every function, and you need to find the intersections of them. You need to keep that as a domain restriction, and you're going to find the resultant function, and you're going to find the domain of that resultant function, and then you compare and take an intersection of those two things. So rather than speaking a lot, let's look at the domain of f of x here. That is negative infinity to 0 union 0 to infinity. All right, so the domain of g of x here, that is negative infinity to negative 5. Let me get it here. Negative infinity to negative 5 union to negative 5 to infinity. Now you need to get the intersection of these two, which will be negative infinity to negative 5 union to negative 5 to 0 union to 0 to infinity. So this is our starting point as a domain 1. We need to keep that in mind because we're making combination of two functions, which in this case is division, each separate domain of function, the blue and the red one, and we need to intersect them. So x values cannot be 0, x values cannot be negative 5. That's what we have written down here in this purple one. All right, then we're going to look at the combination, which is division in this case. All right, so f over g of x, which is 3 over x divided by 5 over x plus 5. And then f over g of x will be, if you do keep, change, and flip, 3 over x times x plus 5 divided by 5. Okay, then the function will become 3 times x plus 5 divided by 5x, which I believe in your email you're telling me, you're showing me the same thing. So domain of this resultant function will be negative infinity to 0 union to 0 to infinity. However, you need to consider this two intersection. So you have now two things that you need to consider, the purple one and the red one. Well, red one is included in the purple, but the purple is not included in the red. So it means that x values cannot be equal to negative 5, right? Why? Because if any of the x value is negative 5, then we are going to have g of x here is undefined. That's why we need to look at the intersection of this one, that one, and then the result will be negative infinity to negative 5 union negative 5 to 0 union 0 to infinity. Because the resultant function is the compact form, g of x is melting in there. However, for this we can have x equal to negative 5. Okay, so again the procedure is you look at each and every function domain, you intersect their domain, which is the purple line, number 1 here, and that will be our lens. Then we go ahead and find the resultant function. We look at the domain of that resultant function, which is this line here, and with that resultant function domain and the lens that we're keeping in mind, we intersect them, and that will be the answer. So WebAssign was not wrong. I think you missed this part. You're right, sometimes it's wrong, but not this time. Hope this helps. Take care, bye.